This happened about a year ago, and I still can't explain it. Me and my best friend Dev were on a weekend road trip to the countryside. We weren't aiming for anywhere in particular, just out of the city, windows down, some fresh air. Around 3 p.m., the weather started turning, fast. Clouds like bruises formed above us, and by the time we realized how bad it was, the roads had already started flooding. We pulled off onto a narrow dirt path we hadn't even noticed before, hoping it would lead to shelter. That's when we saw it. A mansion, huge, rotting, nestled deep among trees and overgrown grass. Its windows were boarded, and vines crawled up its sides like veins. The whole place looked forgotten. Dev pointed out the obvious. Looks like it's been empty for decades. I nodded, but it's shelter. We didn't really have another choice. The moment we stepped inside, everything felt wrong. The storm outside was brutal, rain hammering the roof, wind howling, but inside, silence. Too much of it. Like we had stepped into a soundproof vault. The inside was worse than the outside. Dusty, decayed, and full of shadows that seemed thicker than normal. But it was dry. That's all we needed. We lit up our phone flashlights and wandered a little. I noticed something strange. Most of the doors didn't lead anywhere. I mean, literally. Some opened into walls, others into hallways that curved back onto themselves. There was a smell, too, like old medicine and rust. And under it, moldy wood and something else. Something faintly metallic. Dev found an old plaque behind a collapsed cabinet in the hallway. It was rusted, but you could still make out the words, St. Eloise Mental Institution, established 1931. We both just stared at each other. It wasn't just a mansion. It was an asylum. This is messed up, Dev muttered. We turned back toward the front door, deciding to leave. But the door wasn't there anymore. I mean it. There was just solid wall where the entrance had been. Dev laughed at first, thinking it was some weird architectural trick. But I knew what I saw. The door we walked in through was just gone. That's when the small stuff started. The hallways kept changing. No matter which way we went, we'd always return to the same central chamber with broken furniture and a cracked chandelier. I swear at one point I walked into a hallway, turned around, and Dev wasn't behind me anymore. I called for him. He answered from behind the wall. We were only separated for maybe 2 minutes, but he swore it had been hours. That was the first time we noticed our watches weren't matching. As night settled in, and I use that word loosely because it never really got dark inside, we started seeing movement in mirrors, in corners, reflections where there shouldn't be any. Once, while looking through a dusty office drawer, I found a patient file. The ink had bled away in some places, but the name was still there. Devraj Malik. My friend's full name. He said it wasn't funny, but I wasn't joking. Around what we guessed was midnight, the storm sound moved indoors. We started hearing it, coming from upstairs. The pitter-patter of rain, not on the roof, but on the ceiling, then down the walls, dripping from the lights. And with it, the whispering started. Voices layered over each other, mumbling, sobbing, laughing. We followed the sounds once, like idiots. It led us to a padded room. And in the corner, standing still, was a figure facing the wall. I whispered Dev's name. The figure twitched. We ran. By the time we found a door again, it led to the outside courtyard. We ran into the open. The rain had stopped. The sky was blue. We thought we made it out. Until we saw the car. Rust-eaten, tires flat, windshield cracked. It looked like it had been sitting there for years. Dev checked his phone. No signal. The date on the lock screen? August 18, 2028. We went in on a Friday. April 21st, 2024. We ran for the road, but it was gone. Just trees. Miles of them. The dirt road had turned into a carpet of moss and roots. The sky above swirled with clouds again, though we felt no wind. We camped outside that night, afraid to re-enter the mansion. In the morning, the mansion was gone. Just a clearing in the forest, with a single iron gate sticking out of the ground. We walked for miles, eventually finding a highway and hitching a ride. The calendar said 2024, so we tried to convince ourselves it was a glitch, a fever dream. But Deb's phone still said 2028. And sometimes, when we're alone, we hear rain falling even when the sky is clear. Sometimes I wake up thinking I'm still inside. And I swear I still feel like that third floor padded room is waiting for us.